During the 18th and 19th centuries in the lush forests of Brazil, chilling legends of a cursed man transforming into the fearsome Lobisomem, similar to a werewolf, began to emerge among rural communities. These tales, blending fear, faith, and moral complexity, captivated and haunted generations, shaping local identity and morality. Curious about the dark origins and enduring impact of this haunting legend? Dive deeper into this fascinating story. In the remote hinterlands of colonial Brazil, small villages clustered around dense forests and riverbanks, where life was dictated by the rhythms of nature and the shadowy fears of the unknown. During the 1700s, colonists and indigenous peoples alike whispered tales of a mysterious figure cursed by divine punishment. The stories told of a man, perhaps a slave or settler, who, on nights of the full moon, would transform into a beast, a savage creature driven by rage and hunger. These tales spread like wildfire, echoing the fears of an incurable curse that could strike anyone, regardless of moral standing, thus embedding itself into local folklore. The land's isolation compounded the community's unease, breeding suspicion and superstition, as families huddled around fires to ward off evil spirits that lurked beyond the shadows. By the early 1800s, the legend of the Lobisomem had become woven into the social fabric of rural Brazil. Local elders recounted stories of hunters, farmers, and children lost to the wilderness under the sickle of the full moon. Some believed the beast was a punishment from God, a test of faith and morality, while others saw it as a product of ancestral curses rooted deep in indigenous and colonial sins. A key turning point came with the arrival of Portuguese colonists who brought Christian doctrines that framed such legends as demonic afflictions, demonic possession manifesting in lupine form. Tales grew darker, portraying the creature as a tormented soul, condemned to roam the earth, a symbol of humanity's primal fears and unacknowledged sins, haunting the collective consciousness as a living nightmare. The villagers debated whether it was a curse or the work of malevolent spirits. In the mid-1800s, the folklore took on a more tragic tone as cases of livestock mutilation and mysterious attacks surged in the region. Farmers, driven to despair, organized night watches, armed with torches and firearms, searching for the beast. One such night, a young man named Antonio, known for his bravery, claimed he saw a massive, hairy figure illuminated by the moonlight, snarling and pounding the earth with fury. His trembling voice recounted the encounter with a mixture of terror and awe. These sightings fueled fear and became a catalyst for local authorities to intervene, yet no definitive proof of the creature's existence surfaced. Still, the stories persisted, each event adding to the legend's weight and reinforcing the idea that the Lobisomem was an cursed soul wandering in eternal torment, punishing not only himself but the community as well. By the late 19th century, scientific inquiry began to challenge the supernatural explanations. Ethnographers and naturalists visited the region, seeking rational reasons for the tales. Some speculated that mental illness, rabies, or mass hysteria could explain the sightings. Yet, amid these attempts at rationalization, the legend persisted, now intertwined with Brazil's growing national identity and struggle for independence. The Lobisomem embodied the wild, uncontrollable side of the land, a symbol of the chaos lurking beneath colonial control. Popular ballads and folk songs romanticized the creature's tragic curse, portraying him as a tormented hero rather than merely a monster. The community's fears were transformed into a complex narrative about morality, nature's wrath, and the consequences of sin, themes still profoundly relevant to Brazilian cultural identity. In the early 20th century, modernization and urban influence began to dilute the old legends, but the story of the Lobisomem persisted in rural memory. During droughts and political upheavals, villagers would gather around fires, retelling stories of that cursed man who once roamed the forests, warning children to behave and respect the night. Some brave folklorists documented these tales, realizing they played a crucial role in shaping local morals and community bonds. The legend adapted, emphasizing themes of transformation, not just physical but spiritual, and the continuous struggle between civility and primal instinct. Though many dismissed it as superstition, the legend proved resilient, a mirror reflecting Brazil's ongoing tension between tradition and progress. In the 1950s and 60s, with the advent of mass media and television, the Lobisomem story reached new audiences. Radio dramas, films, and comic books transformed the legend into a symbol of Brazil's mystical allure. Yet, beneath the entertainment was a deeper reflection, a collective anxiety about the unknown and the uncontrollable forces lurking beyond human understanding. In rural areas, the legend still held power, a warning to respect nature and the divine. A community leader once said, "He is not just a monster, but a reflection of our inner fears and guilt, a mirror we dare not face." The Lobisomem became not only folklore but an emblem of Brazil's complex history, torn between civilization and primal chaos. Throughout the late 20th century, scholars began to analyze the legend through psychological and socio-cultural lenses. Some saw the Lobisomem as a manifestation of collective repression, a symbol of Brazil's social struggles, slavery's legacy, indigenous displacement, and the often brutal colonial past. Others viewed it as a cultural archetype embodying the duality of human nature, the civilized versus the savage. This interpretation gave new depth to the legend, transforming it from a simple horror story into a commentary on human morality and societal fears. The creature's recurring appearances served as a reminder that beneath the veneer of civility, primal instincts and unresolved guilt simmered, echoing Brazil's ongoing journey of self-discovery and reconciliation. In the 21st century, the legend of the Lobisomem continues to echo in popular culture, inspiring novels, movies, and local festivals. Yet, it remains rooted in the emotional and spiritual core of rural communities, especially during full moons or harvest festivals where stories are shared around fires. Youngsters are told, in hushed tones, about the cursed man who embodies both evil and tragedy, warning them to respect the wilderness and the unseen forces that dwell within. Anthropologists and storytellers preserve these tales, recognizing their vital role in maintaining cultural identity. The legend now symbolizes Brazil's universal struggle to confront its fears, both internal and external, urging a deeper understanding of our shadows and the stories that shape us. Today, the Lobisomem myth persists as a cultural symbol, urging reflection on Brazil's past and present. It reminds us that myths are more than stories. They are echoes of our deepest fears, hopes, and moral struggles. The legend invites us to confront the darkness within, acknowledging that human nature contains both light and shadow. Modern interpretations recognize him as a guardian of the wilderness or a metaphor for change. His story parallels contemporary challenges, environmental threats, social inequalities, and moral ambiguities, illustrating that the shadows of the past still cast long, profound influences on the present. The Lobisomem's legacy lives on as a testament to humanity's eternal battle with its own monsters, both real and imagined.